welcome to DevOpsCon. I'm here with Justin from AppDynamics. Hey Justin.
Hi there.
How's your session?
Great, it was pretty full and everyone asked some pretty good questions there and listened attentively, so that's all you can ask for. So I was very happy.
And you were talking about a blame-free DevOps culture, right?
That was correct.
How can we create one?
Sure, it's a very important point because although DevOps is about collaboration and teamwork, we still find evidence of finger pointing when things go wrong. And I wanted to highlight some of the ways in which you can overcome that so people can work in a more positive, open, non-finger pointing or blame-free culture and environment which supports them where they feel they actually want to come into work and their contribution is valued.
And how can DevOps adopters, for example, identify the bottlenecks and avoid the finger pointing?
So one of the ways is moving away from what we call kind of a siloed monitoring approach, where typically they're focused, you have different teams based around certain technologies. So you have ones focused around the servers, for example, server monitoring, or application monitoring, or database monitoring, and they each look at every issue that comes up through their own particular lens. And sometimes we find that the first thing they want to do is achieve mean time to innocence, which means they want to take whatever information and reports they can find to prove it wasn't the technology that they were managing. So we need a much more holistic view that combines monitoring across multiple areas and enables everyone to have that kind of single source of truth to establish the true cause of an issue and identify it quickly.
I see. Well, speaking of, measurement is probably one of the key pillars of DevOps, right? And, why is that?
Because I think essentially because DevOps is about improving release velocity, the speed with which you're releasing, and the quality. And if you don't measure that, then how can you prove that each subsequent release was performing better than the one before? How are you making an impact? So you need a kind of a baseline to start from, and then incrementally as you improve those releases, are you getting fewer outages? Is the latency being reduced? Is the customer experience being improved? Are more users using that application and giving customer feedback? So unless you've got metrics and you're measuring those, you can't have some kind of scorecard that can demonstrate the impact that you're having.
Mm-hmm. And what are the other key pillars that are perhaps just as important as measurement?
So I tend to use the CALMS, kind of an acronym which stands for C. The C is for culture, which we all know is one of the most important pillars is around behavioral aspects. Automation, essentially automate everything that you can because people make mistakes, computers don't. So you remove the human error element there. The L is for lean, so lean management principles where you eliminate waste and do things more efficiently. The M for measurement we've covered, and then finally S is for sharing. And that kind of aligns with measurement is being able to take core information and share it amongst a team and feel that you can do so in complete confidence and openness and know that what you're sharing with colleagues won't be used against you.
And can well-defined metrics, for example, enhance a DevOps strategy? And in what way?
Absolutely. So I think the main areas that what we've seen is moving from what we call IT, health monitoring around uptime and so forth, and even mean time to recovery, to ones more directed around the customer experience and the impact that each release has on revenue, for example, in terms of conversion rates, which, for example, high-value customers are consuming the application, are they transacting more, are they more loyal, are they coming back, and so forth. So you move from this IT infrastructure view to a more business-focused, and you can then have a discussion and a dialogue with the business around future initiatives and products and solutions you take to market based on actual consumption data and behavioral aspects related to the application.
I see. And one personal question. A couple of months ago, one of our speakers, Anders Wahlgren from Electric Cloud, told us that you cannot improve what you cannot measure. And I really like that. So do you agree with him? And, why? Or not?
So he's taken that quote from W. Edwards Deming, which has been used before. Now, he's completely right. I totally agree with that, but I would add the caveat, make sure that you're measuring the right things. Mm-hmm. So again, don't take metrics from different silos, have that holistic view so that you're not working just with a part of the truth and a part of the picture, but you have that comprehensive overview, and then you can truly make the right management and business decisions.
And last but not least, I mean, we are talking about businesses here. So what is the true cost, any type of resources, what is the true cost of DevOps adoption?
The true cost, it's interesting that you've got costs and benefits and the trade-off. I think the biggest cost is most of all is patience. Is that typically with DevOps adoption, you're going to find things actually get harder sometimes at the beginning before they get better. So you need to have that commitment as you go through the dip in productivity where you change. It's almost like, for example, when someone wants to get fit, they almost get less fit at the beginning because it's really hard. They have to adapt their body and become fitter, and over time, they develop muscle mass, for example. It's the same thing with DevOps and enterprises, is that you have to go through those growing pains, and the biggest cost is, I think, patience and having the time and staying with it, even though it's hard, and then seeing it through, and then you finally see the results. But it's not going to come easy, so you just need to be prepared to have the grit, drive, and keep pushing through.
Good to know. I mean, hopefully people will put it into practice.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for the interview, and have a lovely conference.
Thank you very much.